Hey guys, this is Worggy, and the other night I was approached and asked if I would join in and help out with Heroes of the Storm game night. They were short one person, and it was the last game of the night, and so I went ahead and did so. And I'll tell you right now, I am no expert in Heroes of the Storm. I've never even played against other players before.
The battle begins.
And anyone that may be like me, a little reluctant on playing against other players, just because you know how people can rage, especially in MOBAs. I had an absolute blast. I know I'm not the greatest player in Heroes of the Storm, but everyone that was involved just made the entire game night just so enjoyable. And I'm actually considering doing game nights with them on a more regular basis. Obviously, I'll have to get a little better. Again, I've never played on any mode in Heroes of the Storm outside of like the AI modes that you can play. And I don't think I was really all that bad. I think I could have avoided a few deaths by not trying to be Rambo. But overall, it wasn't too awful bad. You know, the footage you're seeing is the entire game from beginning to end. It's unedited. So you're going to see some funny deaths. And this particular game night was a themed-based game night. And it was Diablo heroes versus World of Warcraft heroes. And one thing I quickly found out is I really don't know very many Diablo characters at all. And the character that I had chosen, I really hadn't played that much of. And I adapted as quick as I could. I mean, again, it makes you think outside that box, makes you choose those heroes that maybe you wouldn't normally pick. Because, you know, everyone always has those favorites that they like choosing. And this helps you get better at heroes that you may not choose normally. And no, I played this character a few times, so it wasn't like I never had played it. But it really was just an absolute blast. And here soon they'll, if I'm not already down there already, they'll send me down to the bottom, and I pretty much stay down there. And pretty much my entire strategy, as silly as it may sound, was work on the gates as much as I could, and if I saw a real player come, run like a little girl. Because the players I was up against were far more skilled in Heroes of the Storm than I was. There wasn't no competing with them. So I would just try to basically run to a gate, and hopefully the gate could take them out before they took me out. But unfortunately, as you guys will see soon, that strategy didn't always work out in my favor. Yeah, I did get some kills, but like I said, these players are a lot better than I am. But even with the skill difference between myself and them, I still had just an absolute blast. I only was able to play one game, and I really do think that I'll probably try to join them in some future game nights. And I would highly suggest anyone that plays Heroes of the Storm, maybe like me, kind of don't want to play against real players type of thing, to join in on some of these game nights. They are an absolute blast, and you know, it'll just get you out in the clan. You'll get to meet new people, that type of thing. Someone's listening and it's not part of the clan, I would suggest applying. And we have a very active Heroes of the Storm section. They run game nights all the time. But I mean, again guys, I cannot say enough positive things about how much fun I had. It's just a blast, and I probably have not played Heroes of the Storm for probably over a year. It's just really not my game. But the people I played with and just the concept of the game night made it so interesting that I do want to probably go back and do some more game nights with them. Yeah, and I've played Heroes of the Storm before, but it's probably been well over a year. I'm not even, I think the cap in Heroes of the Storm is level 25, and I'm not even level 25 on it. And basically how the game night went is, I think originally I went mid with everyone else, and they sent me bottom lane. And basically I just worked bottom lane for pretty much the entire game. If I saw someone coming, I'd try to run before they killed me like I am right now. That was my strat. Just run, run, run.
Has been slain.
Unfortunately, I don't know if the other team was just feeling sorry for how bad I was, but they didn't really mess with me too awful much until closer to the end. And there was a few times you guys will notice that I should have probably just backed up and waited for support or made a call out. But again, I'm very inexperienced in this game and have a lot to learn. And then there's people like there, they like, oh, the noob's getting his ass beat, I better go down there and help him out. But again, guys, like the entire game night, the people involved in the game night, it was all just a blast. And I would like for anyone listening to at least give the Heroes of the Storm section a shot if you do enjoy Heroes of the Storm at all. Because I've played MOBAs before, I know what the communities of MOBAs are like, and I'm not trying to insult MOBAs by any means, but let's face it, there's some people that like to rage hardcore. And when I went into that game night, I was expecting to possibly get yelled at because of how bad I am. Yeah, and they told me when I saw, I even explained, I was like, hey, you know, I've never played Heroes of the Storm competitively at all. And they're like, it's just for fun. And I was like, okay. And in the back of the mind, I was like, I'm going to get yelled at. Someone's going to scream at me or someone's going to cuss me out and call me names. But none of that happened, guys. I mean, they're a very laid back group. Now, if you join a more competitive natured, you know, Heroes of the Storm section, you don't want to be a complete noob like I was. But my point is even if you have no experience at all, these game nights are geared for people that just like to play and have fun. And if they see you're doing something wrong, they'll let you know, but they do it in a, you know, in a way where it's not insulting. They just let you know that you should be somewhere else or you should be doing this. And it's just to help you out as a player, not to be an insult by any means. And there's another example when I should have just kept running and didn't. But it looks like I actually made it out there. And here I just run my happy butt back over there and get healed up. And most people probably wouldn't even admit this. What I'm doing here, if you're wondering, is I've actually forgot how to hearth. And that's why I kept mounting. I couldn't remember how to actually hearth. I finally figured it out, but that's how big a noob Worggy was. And this is the first game night that I had the privilege of being a part of. For the Heroes of the Storm section. But they do themed game nights like this all the time. They do academies. And again, guys, like if you enjoy Heroes of the Storm at all, strongly suggest checking them out. Because it was a blast. And this is coming from someone that doesn't really even care for Heroes of the Storm that much, or MOBAs in general for that matter. It was just the people that were involved that made it that so much fun. And you can check out any of the Heroes of the Storm game night just by visiting our Heroes of the Storm forums in Fever Clan. And last I heard, they were doing at least 3 game nights a week, which is a pretty large amount for even most sections, even some of your larger sections. And I mean, so they're a very active group, as well as, and this is just going off of for what I've observed. I'm not stating anything for fact, but it seems like if you'd like to run your own group, you just have to talk to the leader and start your own group up. They have, you know, low-ranking people running groups. If you're in the running groups, you can talk to the officers in that section, and I'm sure they'd be more than willing to allow you to run your own group. But you just gotta talk to them. And when I first joined, I thought I'd kind of get embarrassed, but I did alright siege damage wise. I was kind of lacking on hero damage, just because these guys are so good that if I even tried to attack them, they would just focus me down. I'd be toast. The only real kills I had was when I was able to group up with them here a little bit later, and I was able to, as a group, attack everyone, and we pretty much wiped them out. And that's when we moved in for the win. As you guys can see, I just pretty much keep going bottom lane, working on the gates, and anytime someone tries to even approach me, I just try to run away, basically. And again, I am not very experienced, I know I'm not very good, but it was a blast, as I've already said a million times, and I can't stress that enough. But basically all I do for the entire match is basically I just try to wipe out the troops when they come. I work on the gates. If a real player comes, I basically try to run unless I get back up. And like right here, I don't even think I even had an opportunity to try to run away, and I was just toast. I was trying, but I wasn't near fast enough there. But overall, I mean, I know I died a few times, but overall I think I did really well. I thought I was going to die a lot more than that, to be honest. And when I did play Heroes of the Storm, and I wouldn't say I played it regularly, but yeah, I'd play it a few times a month. My favorite character was Sergeant Hammer. I don't really know how Sergeant Hammer would do in competitive play. She does a ton of siege damage. I just see with her when she has to like fixate herself on the ground. I would see that being a major disadvantage because all someone had to do is run up on you and you'd be toast. But they also run academies in the HOTS section, and I may even attend some of them, and I might try to get a little better at this game. And right here, guys, I'm approaching on the last gate. This is the very last gate until we can reach the core room. And the rest of the team's up on the, looks like the top lane. And they're dealing with all the other heroes. I don't know if the other team just didn't notice me, or like I said, they just like, oh, it's just Worggy down there. He doesn't know what he's doing anyway. But here in a second, they do give us a little bit of a runner for our money. But we were still able to come back and get the win. And again, I'm not trying to take credit for it because it's by no means my win. The other guys are the ones carrying me, so yeah. And at this point, I was just trying to figure out what I was supposed to actually even do at this point. Should I be going after the core, or should I just attack stuff? And then I got ambushed by two of these guys. And I'm running, and yeah, it didn't work out too well for me, as you guys can see there. And there I was just making sure my numbers weren't too embarrassing. I did alright.
Kill this hero, now.
Okay, and here in a second, the other team will basically push us back into our base for a brief second. But then we're able to wipe out the rest of their team, and that's when we move in on the floor. And I think it might happen on my way going to them here, possibly.
Spirits guide us.
I think here I get caught up again and die once again. Okay, I think this is when they start trying to get some of the camps, and then we basically go wipe them out, and then that's when we move in on the floor. But this was really a fun game.
Their Punisher lies broken at our feet. Our enemy has destroyed a fort.
Alright, as you guys can see on the screen now, the other team's starting to push into our base here. Okay, and I believe they all back out and they go to try to take out some of the camps. We all group up and then we just ambush them all at once.
Yes.
And I believe we take out pretty much their whole team. See right here, they just said, you know, back out, don't worry about that. And so that's what we all did. And then they go to another camp and we all circle around, and then that's where we get them right there.
Spirits guide us.
And this is where a few of my, or pretty much all of my hero kills come from. And there it is. And I'm sure most of it came from these guys' DPS, not mine. See, I barely even knew to get on my mount there. I was like, oh hey, they're all going faster than me. Maybe I should do something about that.
You will take it for me.
Alright, right here we just stack up, let the healer do his job, and we all just burn the core down. And that's pretty much the game right there, guys. Again, absolute blast. You need to check out the HOTS section if you haven't already. And I'll be putting out more videos on their game nights soon. But I'll catch you guys later.